Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas, wonderful Thanksgiving. If you hadn't been here in a while, today we're going to talk about the holidays with big dogs. So, if you, I'm going to put a link out into the comments. So, I'm going to upload that pretty quickly while my dogs play. I don't know, it feels like when I start talking, it's when they start to kicking up dust. Prior to that, they were doing fine, just kind of moseying around the yard. But now, hey, since we're gonna be on camera, we might as well put on a show, right? So let me actually add that guest link to the comments, and the idea being that what's going on, Russian agent? The idea being that if you guys want to come on and show your dog or talk about the topic today, which is what am I doing with my dogs during the holidays? So yeah. Oh, and also I'm armed and ready at any moment's notice to give my dogs a little distractions. They're probably going to need a little squirting right now, actually, because Storm is biting his neck. So we're going to get in here. It's chilly, so it should feel good. There we go. That's what we want today. We want to keep it in mind. Yeah, she's super excited right now. Nope, this is the beginning of the show. We're not going to start the water game. I just don't want you guys tearing each other up right now. Oh man, my dogs. So today we're gonna talk about what to do, or what we do rather, with our dogs during this the holiday season. Because when you got big dogs, you don't have a line of people waiting outside your door to babysit your dogs. In most cases, some people do. Maybe you have family members that are willing to watch your dogs while you fly off to wherever and have a holiday season. So with our dogs, it's always that question: what do? Do you just pack them up, put them in the back of the truck, and then you take your dogs with you to families, friends' houses, or what do you do? And to be honest with you, I'll get to the chase with that one. For us, we have limited options, very limited options. We have one family member that is really comfortable with the dogs. That's an adult, and she's wonderful. That's my sister, and so she's great. And but I can't count on her every single time I want to go on vacation or go somewhere, or even if we're at a holiday thing where she has to be there. So, it's going to be, you can't just have her at every single time you want to leave. So what do you do? Do you take them to the kennel? Do you let them stay at home by themselves, or do you take them with them? And that's the question that, if you have a big dog, you know what I'm talking about. That's always a concern. And in our case, this year we lucked out. So Thanksgiving we spent with my parents. Now they live about 3 hours away. So what we did was we split the difference. We said, okay, listen. All right, he's the young one. He's actually 2 years old. So he's the one that we're most concerned with. He gets bored. He's still in the puppy stage, and if he gets bored, he gets a little destructive. And so if I'm not here or my wife's not here to correct him, then he can actually wreak havoc on the house. So let me turn this music off. Sorry guys if it's going on. But it's always a toss up with him. Is he going to tear up things, or is he going to be okay? With the more mature Rottweiler I have here, she's 4 years old, 4 years in human years, that is. And so for her, she just chills all day long. And that's one thing I like about having a mature dog is they tend to... I'm sorry, Russian agent, I still didn't answer your question, did I? Yes, what's the thumbnail? I'll answer your question in just a second. I'll get around to that. Oh, she's really showing out today. I'm more dominant. Yeah, as long as they keep it nice, that's all I care about. You can still. She has such a strong will. If you have a Rottweiler, let me know how your Rottweiler is. But mine is such a strong-willed dog. I mean, she does not give in to being second fiddle. She's gonna always want to have that alpha status between those two. I hate it when she does that, though. All right, guys. So on Thanksgiving, what we did was we split the difference. We said, all right, we got cameras set up all over our house, and I have them triggered so wherever they move, I can see where they go. So I have cameras on the outside of the house, some on the inside, and whenever they move around, I get a trigger and I get an alert and a video clip of where they're doing. So I kind of use that, way to give some supervision while I'm away. Good gracious, they need to exercise. I think he's given his best shot with trying to, and I'm going to actually step in a minute because this is getting way more than what I'm used to seeing. So, so if you guys, hopefully you can protect your ears because I'm going to start stepping in and correcting this action. This is way more than what I want. So I'm letting it be for a second, but in a minute it's going to get crazy. Hey, cut it out. That's enough. Sorry, I had to put on my Big Daddy voice right now because if they keep going with that, they keep escalating it, then there could be a problem. So I had to scare them up a little bit. Listen, none of that. Y'all can play, but we're not doing no fighting. So sorry guys if I blasted out your ears. Sometimes Daddy got to put on his big boy voice. And now we got a happy pack again. Yeah, yes we do. So yeah, it's always important to make sure your dogs will listen to you. You know what I mean? Like right now, I think they're still kind of a little shaken up because I normally don't use my voice like that. So they're cool now. You cool, big boy? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So like that stuff right there, that's okay. Like because they're not really biting each other, but those last two interactions I saw, they were getting rough. Mainly this girl here. And what they really need is exercise. So usually I exercise them after the show. I'll just take them on, go for a run, and that tires them out really well. But yeah. So we decided for Thanksgiving morning, what we did was we got up early and we packed up the car. We fed them. We made sure they had access to water, make sure they had everything they needed. We closed our bedroom door. Okay, I guess she's being respectful. And then, yeah, the running part, go for it. I want them to run. Just get that exercise out. So, yeah, we packed up the house, took off about, I don't know, we left for maybe 8 o'clock or so, and kept the cameras rolling, and we decided to let them see what they would do all day long. And they did fine. And usually that's how my big dogs are. When we're not here to interact or, when they're not fighting for attention, or I don't know what they're doing, but if they're trying to impress us or what. But when we're gone, oftentimes they just kind of chill, either sleep on the couch or they'll come out in the backyard and stare at the neighbor's dogs, which is probably the worst thing about it. Is if you've been on the show long enough, you know that one of my challenges is to make sure that my dogs don't bother my neighbors on this side and on this side of the house. And here they have big dogs, and so that's that's always a concern that my dogs are going to get into trouble and causing problems and barking and making my neighbor upset. So we've done a couple things to kind of modify that by putting up some cattle panel and putting some, hey, Naomi, we had a great Christmas. How about yours? We put some plants in there to kind of block their view. The plants aren't very tall yet, so it's not as effective, but hopefully in the next year or two, they should be pretty big and there'll be less interaction between my dogs. So they'll basically come out here, guys. Come out here, sit and stare at the neighbors while we're gone. If I'm out here, I can call them back like I do all the time. And that's helpful. And they listen. I'm very, very thankful that we built a relationship and training enough to get my dogs to come back whenever they go. And that's, of course, that's a great skill for your dogs to have, is that recall skill. And they've been doing really well, especially this guy. He's been the one that's been more like, I don't want to listen. I want to go play with the neighbor's dog. And, she's been really, really good about recall. But anyway, so during Thanksgiving, they came out on the cameras. They were out here a lot, actually. The temperatures were nice. That's the other thing. with it being more moderate in temperature, they love to come out here in the backyard and just chill. And when I say chill, I mean basically sit right there and stare and wait for the neighbor's dogs to come out so they can run over there and run the fence line. But anyway, so that was it. Was says hope it was nice. Glad you have a good. Yeah. Well, yes, it was great. Frank says hi. Best regards from Germany. Hey, what's going on, Frank from Germany? Awesome. We're talking about what to do with dogs during the holidays, and I was supposed to put the link in the comments. So let me go ahead and put that comment in the link for you guys. So as same as last time, if you guys have a dog you want to show and talk about, if you guys want to talk about what you guys do during the holidays to with your big dogs, or even if you have a smaller dog, what exactly do you guys do during the holidays? Do you take your dogs with you? Let's see. Oh, I keep pushing the wrong button there. Sorry. That's the link. It's now posted on the screen. If you have a dog, and unfortunately, StreamYard does not allow you to use your back camera. We found that out last weekend whenever my cousin came on with her beautiful dogs, and her pit bulls, and it was loved having them on. Loved the whole experience, except she couldn't use the back camera. So you have to use your front camera. But if you want to come on, show me your dogs, talk about your dogs, you're more than welcome. I'll just scoot our little screen to the side, and you can come in and show your dogs, because you guys have some fascinating dogs out here. I know y'all have them out there. I keep hearing about them though. I've been doing this for 6 months at least, doing live shows every weekend, and I've had so many cool people talk about, like, I look at this Kitty Corso, I'm like, wow, it's an amazing dog, yay. My Rottweiler, wow, it's an amazing dog. But then some people come on and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what kind of dog that is, but I would love to see it. So if you do have a dog that you want to show off or talk about what you guys do for the holidays, I'd love to get your opinions on that, especially with the bigger dogs, because the little dogs are a little bit easier. I mean, when we only had Missy for the longest, it was fairly easy to get away for holidays or vacations. We just take her to the dog sitter, or I'm sorry, the veterinarian. They had like a kennel there, and we would kennel Missy, and we would pick her up in about a week or so, and everything's good. But with these big dogs, everything changes. How excited are your vets to take big dogs like this? So if you guys have any advice or want to talk about what y'all are doing with y'all dogs during the holiday, let's jump on and let's talk about it. So the Frank says, everything okay with you? Yes, everything is fantastic. Everything's great. I'm still trying out the StreamYard, guys. So who's that big boy? Who's that big boy? You gotta love that face, y'all. Oh, the jealousy. Did y'all see the jealousy with that girl? Oh, no jumping. Yeah, she gets really, really jealous. If I give him attention, you can hear her just kind of almost like seething in the background, like, don't touch him, touch me. Oh, man. But yeah, so I had to put on my big boy voice this morning and give them some correction, because they were playing way too rough with each other, and it was getting worse and worse. So this level here, okay. But what we saw this morning, and if you didn't see that, go back to the beginning of the video where I had to kind of correct them, because they were getting out of control. So for Christmas, what did we do? So Christmas, we made the decision to say, hey, family, let's have it at our house, which also poses challenges, right? Because when you have family coming over to your house, what do your dogs think? Your dogs are thinking people are coming on my territory, okay? And if you don't have all your family members socialized to your dogs, then what do you do? How does that happen? So I think at the beginning of the show, Russian Asian was asking me about the thumbnail to this live stream, and that thumbnail is actually Storm. And you see what Storm is wearing. Storm is wearing a muzzle and a some antlers from one of the family members brought antlers, and so she was wearing the antlers with a muzzle. So it looked kind of weird, but she was okay. It was mainly for the photos. We just a couple, pictures and a couple videos, and we took them off of them. But it didn't really bother her too much. And with her, my Rottweiler is pretty compliant with most things that we give her or let her do. Like she's compliant in her kennel. She has no problem going in there, sitting in there, and just chilling. Has no problem whatsoever. He gets, on the other hand, he's a little bit like, I don't want to be here. He's whining and stuff like that. So he's less as not as compliant. She's the cutest Christmas Hannibal Lecter I've ever seen. We were making fun of them because they look like little Banes walking around like Batman. Bane from Batman. Especially the Connie Corso. When you looked at his face with that muzzle on, and then you put the reindeer antlers on him, it was hilarious. I'll put up more photos or more videos of what they look like with the antlers on. But the muzzles is not obviously not for us. The muzzles were for family members, right? That don't come around a whole lot, that are uncomfortable being around a dog this size. When you've grew up, little Christmas babes, bless them. That's exactly what they look like. But when you first come in contact with a Cane Corso this size, if you don't have any sort of like reference point or have any dog that's that size already or been around dogs like that, it's very, very unnerving. It's really, really just it's like it's scary. It literally is scary. I mean, my family, my wife, my daughter and I, we look at him and we love this dog. And there's sometimes he just looks at you with those yellow eyes, stoic face, you know, and you're like, you know, it's like, dude, you look intimidatingly, just you look intimidating, just scary looking, and not that we're afraid of him, but you could totally see somebody who's like, your brain is going crazy. You see this massive animal with this menacing look on its face with the yellow eyes, and this thing is going to kill you is what's probably running through your mind. But of course we're looking at it like, oh, this is a baby, look at that sweetie pie, that's what we see. But we've had him since he was a puppy, right? So the gradual growth, we don't really notice it. By the time you look up, he's a massive 30-pound dog, or even greater. Storm is actually kind of cute when she sees people that she knows. I mean, she throws those ears back, and you can kind of be like, oh, she's so sweet. But then Rain, on the other hand, he doesn't even smile. He just has a stoic look to him. So, anyways. So one thing that we've done to try to make it more comfortable for family members is put the muzzles on them. The idea being that if you understand that there's a muzzle there, there's no way he can really bite you. You know what I mean? Now, if he takes off the muzzle, which he's never done, and we do stay close by. We always stay close by whenever he's around family, or when the family are around our dogs, because you never know when something pops off or whatever, or someone makes an interesting move and they react to it. So we definitely try to keep everybody safe. But the muzzles, I think, helps. It's a psychological tool for family members, so that they don't overreact to his size, and they feel more comfortable around him. And even with that, there were still family members, like my mom, for instance. She was still quite uncomfortable with being around it. And the trick is just spending more time with him, just building that confidence that, hey, he looks big, I'm not used to being around a big animal like that, but it's not going to hurt me. And that's easier said than done, right? Because you have to spend time with these dogs to build up that trust. That's one thing I don't really emphasize a lot, and I probably should, is you see me out here with my dogs all the time. You guys see that and there's certain things I talk about that I do with my dogs. Like for instance, my Rottweiler right now, she's got a bone in her mouth, right? She doesn't want anybody to touch that bone. She would growl at Rain. She would just be absolutely upset if anyone tried. Oh, is he gonna go get some water over there? I would go over there, but I'm not sure that the Wi-Fi would hold strong enough for me to go there. But I think he's interested in that water fountain. Y'all know that I've been working on the dogs. Yes, get some water, buddy. Get some water. Put your paw. Get some water. He's like, come here. Okay, I'm coming. Look at that face, though, y'all. But, I don't talk a lot about the relationship that led up to me having the ability to do what I do with my dogs. And I do stress this a lot. You get these big dogs, you really have to spend time with those dogs. You have to raise them like children. Yeah, so Naomi says she gets it. She's only ever seen one Connie Corso, even though it's one of the biggest dog lover. I was definitely intimidated. Yeah, it's just and that's why I think people like this breed. It's just, look, I'm trying to go really slow so you can see his face, but I can't get him to stare at us, but you get what I'm saying. So with his ears back, it's a little bit better, but here, let me see if I can get his catch. Come here, big boy. He's my big boy. Yeah, he's not gonna cooperate, but if he sit there and stares at you, or even when he jumps, like I don't really like him jumping, and I usually stop him by put my palm in front of his face. But for somebody that's already afraid of dogs, thank you, Naomi. If you're already afraid of dogs, or if you had a negative interaction in the past, and you see a dog like this, it's not going to be the most joyous thing. And honestly, you shouldn't be too excited and happy and go right into a big dog like this that you haven't spent enough time with to build that relationship with. You know what I mean? So in other words, there's a way to approach a dog that's this big to let them know, first of all, have they accepted you in their space? And the way you do that is, especially with family members coming to the house, if they're not actively barking and lunging at you, they are walking around you. They've kind of accepted you into their space, at least on a surface level. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, dad, mom, they're okay with this person being in the house. And this is the other thing. Missy is a ringleader in our house. She is the true alpha, and she's a little bitty small dog. You guys probably know, um, you know who I'm talking about, the little alpha little dog. She is the ringleader, and when you have a pack of dogs, there's always going to be one dog that leads the rest. They control the pack in a way that's a little different than like the owner does. Little Missy is that dog. What she does is, if she is uncomfortable with anything and she remotely tries to bark, these guys react, especially him. She's kind of learned to be a little bit more cautious. Yeah, a little dog with big personality. That's exactly right, Naomi. But he's still kind of young, and when she starts barking, this guy goes crazy. Hey, what's going on, Michaela? Good morning. And when he starts barking, he thinks that there's an intruder or whatever. Now little Missy may have just heard like something fall in the bathroom or something on the counter or whatever. But this guy here runs out the door. He's barking. He's in attack mode. He's ready to take down the world. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I'm going to get that guy that Missy is talking about. So, our strategy is to work on the little dog. Work on the ringleader first. Get her under control. And then these guys will, more often than not, will be a lot better. So when it comes to family members, we kind of use it to our advantage. Since Missy is actually way better with people, with new people, that is, and with family, people that don't come around a lot, we use that to our advantage. We say, listen, do you see Missy getting love from all the family? Because she loves it. When my parents come over, or anybody that's come over that hadn't been over for a while, Missy goes and loves on them and accepts their love. So when these dogs see that, they're like, "Oh, they kind of calms down. Okay, all right, it's not a bad person. Okay, we're accepting them. Yes, that's what you want." And so that's step one. Now the other thing that we've done. Now I haven't really worked very very hard on my dogs reacting to the doorbell, but some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Somebody comes to the door, rings the door, bing dong, and the next thing you know, the dogs just, especially the little yappy ones, they just go nuts. And my dogs are no exception. They're the same thing. They do the same thing. When someone rings the doorbell, it's like a trigger for them. And I know there's a way to work on that. I've seen people online do it. I just haven't got around to doing it. So what is my strategy? Well, one, delay, because I haven't worked on that. And I could do it. It just takes time. You know what I mean? But more often than not, I just try to meet the person coming to my house first before they click the doorbell. And then, but number two is they go in their kennels. So if your dogs aren't kennel trained, I understand. There are some people that are like, look, my dog's not going into a kennel. I'm not doing it. And I'm like, well, that's a lot of, you're leaving a lot on the table there because I've kennel trained her, and he's basically being kennel trained right as we speak. We put him no, to drink out of the pool. If you want water, go to your fountain. Um, he just dropped an acorn in the pool. My pool's dirty, by the way. But we put him in the crate ever since he was a puppy when he brought him home. So obviously you don't want to keep a dog in the crate too long. There's rules of how long a dog should be in their kennels, and it goes by their tolerance for it. The older they get, the more tolerance they have for it. I can't remember the formula. My wife would know it right off the top of her head. But there's a formula to how many hours a dogs can stay based. Like it's like 1 hour for a new puppy, 2 hours as they get. I don't know what the formula is. If you guys know the formula, let me know. He's decorating. um, but anyways, you don't want to keep your dog because you don't want it to be an unpleasant experience. That's the part. That's how you actually get them to like being in there. Is you make it a positive experience. So when I tell my dogs to go in the kennel, it's usually not get in there. I'm slamming the kennel and I'm kicking the door and I'm fussing and everybody's mad and they're been in there for hours and they're whining. What you want to do is you like come into the kennel, and if you can get them to go in there, I guess he went into the house. It's just me and Storm now. I think Missy came out. There she is. Little Missy over there. So what you'll do is, you give them a treat. You go in there and you make it a positive. You rub them. Hey, you're in your kennel. Good job. Make it feel good. The other thing is dogs like to kind of like be in little enclosed areas. So oftentimes if you get like these guys, they have massive kennels. Storm, come here, baby. Look at that recall. Yeah, I love that, man. Life is so good when your dog listens to you. I didn't even call your name. You came, buddy. But anyways, the you make it a positive experience, and then they get used to being in there. And then, like I said, and our kennels are so massive. I mean, they're half my body height. Look, he went straight. He went straight to that bone. They do not forget. Did you just steal her bone, Rain? Did you steal her bone? Look, he wagging his tail like, yep, I did. I sure did. Okay, so here's a perfect example. Okay, he stole it from her, and I did this on the last show, but let me show you this. There's no reason why this dog um, would want this bone to be given to anybody else. And I know I'm jumping topics, and I'll get back to the kennel in just a second. But since the opportunity is here to demonstrate, um, he's actively. Oh well, never mind. Guess I'm not going to be doing that now. So I went to go chase some birds, and then my point is just completely lost. Come here, come here, big girl. Come here, Stormy. Come here, Rain. They're chasing birds right now. Oh, here's a good one. Storm. She's totally involved, but she kind of knows that I called her, so she's halfway committed, but halfway wants to come to me. Come here. So I gave her that correction, and so now she's walking. Come here, baby. All right. I'll get to my point again. All right. So now we're back to the bone. I was trying to. Hey, big girl. She's apologizing for not coming, so she went right between my legs. Okay, it's okay. I'll forgive you. You're still a good doggy. You're still a good baby. Yes, you are. Yeah, you're a good baby. Okay, so back to what I was saying about the bone. With now he's actively involved in this bone, right? So possession is a huge deal when it comes to dogs like this. If you've interacted with your dogs, you built a relationship, and you've set boundaries, you let them know that you're alpha, you should be able to do this. Move, move. I'm slowly taking this out of the way. Now I know he's sort of distracted, so this is not a full great example of this, but the point being that if your dog won't let you do this, they don't have respect for you. You know what I mean? In other words, your dog is saying, look, I can do what I want, you're not my boss. Good boy. You a good boy? Go sit. That's a good boy. I'll give it back to you if you work for it. Oh, that's the other thing, guys. Come here. Is when you're giving dogs treats, people think that dogs are like humans, and like if you give them enough gifts that they'll like you. Oh, guys, I'm sorry for jumping topics. I will talk about that kennel in just a second, but I think this is important because I've seen this happen a lot lately. particularly even with my neighbor. She's really great with wanting to interact with these dogs. So she asked me, which I think was awesome, to give my dogs treats. Good morning from Austria. Good morning, Stafford. And hey, what's going on, Paul? Good morning, man. Long time no see. But my neighbor has been trying her best to interact with my dogs to appease them. But remember, dogs are not humans, okay? So I've watched her try to give my dog some treats. Now, one thing I came out one day and I saw him basically barking and attacking the fence line. And she would throw the treat over the fence. He grabs the treat, eats the treat, and then goes right back in and starts tearing up the fence line. And she's all excited and reactive to the whole process. And I came out there and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I had to stop her. I said, hold. Cold ham, what's going on? It was a great Christmas, man. Yes, exactly. You have to. So Stafford, you have to train your dogs. So, uh, I told her, I says, listen, you're actually doing the human thing, which is I give you gifts and then you'll come like me. It doesn't really work that way with dogs like this. They don't see it the way we see it. You don't give them enough gifts so they start being nice to you. Now I'm sure that maybe some dogs that have, naturally once you've given them something sweet or whatever or a treat, they just like become humble. But this dog, for instance, doesn't work that way because his body language is, you give me that treat now or I'll bite your head off. And so he's training you to give him the treat because he's being rough and mean and whatever. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What you don't want to do is you don't want to encourage that. You have been busy with work. I always catch the playback. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate you, man. Um, hope things are get better at work. I know that's a pretty busy hotel, man. Loved the hotel. Loved it. I had so much fun. Still regret it not reaching out to you and finding out which one you worked at. But anyways, I'm glad to have you back, man. But but you can't do that with dogs. It has to be, if you want this treat, you have to do something for it. You've got to work for it. I'm always kind of like discouraging people giving my dogs treats or even family members from giving my dogs treats without them working for it. I'm not trying to say unnecessarily be mean about it. I'm just saying that what you want is that your dog to look at it as like, hey, I've got to work for this. They're going to go see mommy. Mommy has entered the building. Mama bear. Good morning. Oh, no worries. Didn't want to wake you up. Um, so yeah, we started off the show talking about what we did with the dogs during the holidays and how we've approached family members coming to the house that don't normally come over with the big dogs. And right now, I'm just talking about rewarding our dogs with treats inappropriately. Oh, it looks like you got some fun stuff there too. But yeah, so dogs don't respond to, I'll be nice to you, and
They're not humans.
they're not humans. That's exactly what I said. So you see how she kind of put them in a sitting position, and they're used to working for stuff. So they wanted that ball so bad, but wifey's instinctively just said, "All right, you guys got to sit." And she's got another one too.
Ready? Ready?
Yeah, I like that interaction. I mean, nice. He didn't jump on her and force her to give him that ball. It's like whenever you release the ball, then I'll go get it. But you're not gonna make me. Now that they're excited, they're happy. They both got two new balls. This one here, on the other hand, this little one right here, that's the ringleader. That's little Missy. That is the Missy girl. Matter of fact, yeah, that's her theme song. I'm just kidding.
Good morning, family. Good morning. I hope you had a good holiday week with your family. I know New Year's is coming up, but honestly, it's like when you train the dogs. I mean, honestly, what my husband was referring to is just training them. When you train them, you get to enjoy them. Set them up for success. let them know the expectations. They won't be perfect all the time, but they'll get it most of the time because they want to please you. Set them up for success, and then you get to enjoy them. We've had Missy for a while. Missy's getting up there. I believe Missy will be 12 this year.
Is she 13? I thought she was 13.
Is she 12 or 13? Sorry, it's been a lot. No, you're actually right. She's already 13.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I haven't had coffee yet. I'm like, good morning. But
oh, let me interrupt you. Stafford said that he trains his Malinois at the Army base.
Oh yeah, they're. Oh my gosh, these dogs are so athletic.
And this dog earns his treat. Otherwise, no treat. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Is that people inappropriately give their dogs treat because they think that they're appeasing them, like they're like, hey, do this and maybe you'll be nicer to me or you'll be more in control. It really doesn't work that way. It's like you got to make them work for that treat. So if you do what I ask you to do, then you get a treat and you get a more compliant dog. I don't know what the big ones are doing now they drop the balls and
they're wrestling over. So they do that a lot when you have multiple animals. I don't care, the toys are the exact same other than one's blue, one's red. Nobody cares, but they will wrestle over the one. Rain doesn't really care. He appreciates the interaction, so he will wrestle over the one that she has, even though he has the exact same thing.
Yeah, they're looking for maximal entertainment, and individually playing with the ball is not all that fun. But if I take the ball away from you, that's way more fun and exciting. And if you want to take it up a notch, let's get Dad involved and let's play tug of war with Dad because he's way more animated than you. So they're after what's more exciting. You know what I mean? Like, what's the more exciting thing to do?
You ready? You want to get it?
So yeah, so when family comes over, we have to use that opportunity to say, because don't fall down the path of let me appease your big dog so they don't bite me. No, you want it.
A bullying.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I discourage family members that aren't used to my dogs. Now my wife and I may give our dogs a treat for whatever reason, maybe, but it's usually associated with a job, a task. Naomi says, hi, good morning.
Good morning, Naomi.
It's associated with, even if it's something simple as a recall or sit, or even just come here. You get rewarded for just listening to me.
Ready?
And but don't put your dog in the kennel and your dog's mad or whatever or wants whining, and then you give it a treat. Without no work involved. You're just
the new toy is more valuable.
You know what I mean? So don't make that mistake. Ready? I mean, he just naturally sit for her.
No, okay. He just wants attention.
He just wants the love. He wants the love.
Hey, baby.
So yeah, you don't want to make that mistake with family when they come over the holidays. They just want to, if they're uncomfortable with dogs, don't go down the path of appeasement.
You set your both up for failure.
Absolutely.
So my thing about it is you definitely, and the thing about it is we release pheromones involuntarily. Like, you release fear pheromones.
Oh yeah.
If you're nervous or anxious or excited, that's how your dogs read your moods. Like, they can smell when you're angry, they can smell when you're excited, they can smell when you're fearful, and they respond to it. And so what we don't want to do is ever set up anybody for failure. Now he's decided that one of those balls is worth getting. But no, you have to.
Yeah, so Stafford says the biggest thing people do is they don't teach them right from wrong. Yeah, I mean, and let me add one thing to that, Stafford. My right at my house may be different than your right at your house, okay? But the point being is setting the expectation for your home. Maybe in my house, he's not allowed to be on the couch. Maybe at your house, your dog is allowed to be on the couch. But maybe your dog is not allowed to be around the dinner table or be on the bed or whatever. Set those boundaries. And they're just
indestructible toys.
Yeah, those are not indestructible. That Rottweiler's tearing right through that little tennis ball thing.
Ball stick.
But what's right and wrong, right? In my house, she's allowed on the couch, but he's not, and so we reinforce those boundaries, and that's all part of it.
Not because he doesn't. He struggles with the territory. I mean, he's still very, very young, or he's still fairly young, and he's not allowed on the couch for a reason. Because when he gets territorial and he cannot let... Storm is very good about being on the couch but moving out the way when you ask her. She's very good about not being territorial. Anybody can come sit down. She doesn't care, which is why she's allowed on the couch.
Yeah, so there seems to be a different standard for one dog versus the other when it comes to
expectation. Based on their personality.
Exactly.
But Storm will sit on the couch. She will take over the entire couch. To take over two parts of the sectional. But when you ask her to move, she will move. Rain doesn't really like to give in to. Once he's there, he wants to be there. So he's not allowed on the couch.
Exactly. Yeah, and so when you set those expectations in your home, you want to reinforce those.
He's excited.
And you want to share with your family members when they come over for the holidays. Hey, look,
what the rules are.
Let's maintain those rules, even though it's Christmas, even though it's New Year's, or even though it's Thanksgiving. Our dog's not allowed to be at the dinner table with us. They're not allowed to bully anybody for their turkey. Not everything, but all
and
of
they're
toys.
like children. They will try you.
I think we lost the ball in the pool. Oh no, it's gonna swim away. It's gonna swim away. Oh, I can't get it. It's getting further and further away. Yeah, it's actually on the trailer with all that junk over there. Sorry, buddy. You lost your ball. What are you gonna do? You gonna jump in there and go get it? It's kind of cold. I don't think he's gonna jump in there. If y'all saw my swimming video, like it was just like 2 or 3 months ago. It was his first time swimming around the pool, and he's anxiously waiting for mom to grab that pool net to grab the ball for him. It's like he's waiting for it to happen. Come on, mom, help me out here. Not everything but all his toys. Try living with a husky. Oh, I bet, man. That we don't have huskies. We have the breeds that we have is just this Rottweiler and this Cane Corso and that mixed dog. And I guarantee you, there's certain dogs that I don't know if I could handle right now without doing the research and without spending some more time with them, because they're every breed has its own like little quirks and things that you have to work with. Like you just talk about your Malinois, I. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if you heard or not. Wifey's talking about the energy of the Malinois. I don't know if we could keep up with the.
They're amazingly athletic and smart, but I was like, I don't think I have the energy for their energy.
Yeah, Naomi. He was waiting for mom the whole time, and then he's gonna probably do it again. You might want to keep that handy because he's still got this idea that he's gonna probably kick it in the pool.
No, well, and the thing about it, their intelligence, like it's amazing what they understand.
Yeah, they get it. But Naomi said that he's waiting for you to go get mom to get it. But yeah, setting those expectations and then helping family members too. Look, it's gonna go right back in there, I bet.
Well, good job, Rain.
Good catch. You need to play soccer, buddy. He looked at me like, what? Oh, that's that face I was talking about, guys. That stoic face. Like he doesn't smile. Like the only way you know that he's happy is his body language. His tail wags, and
He'll smile sometimes, but it's very rare.
It's hard with all that extra skin on his face, Like when Storm smiles, you can see it. Like
but Storm is really selective with her smiles too.
Oh, buddy,
I'm tired now.
Are you gonna get it or what? Oh,
taking a break.
We're gonna play catch. Oh, it's just like having a boy child that wants to play catch.
If you look at the personality differences, though, like he's done a whole bunch of things since the balls came out. Storm has been very consistent and stayed with that.
Yeah, I mean, Storm's gonna be like, I mean, she's
her.
She's more destructive. Well, not destructive. I shouldn't say that.
She's powerful.
When it comes to toys, Storm likes to chew them up, and I have to watch it because she'll like to ingest. Oh, I almost lost that ball again. She likes to ingest the stuff, and I don't really want her ingesting too much of the stuff because, as you guys, some of you guys, dog owners, y'all know that when dogs ingest stuff that's inedible like this, you can cause an obstruction. If you cause a gastric obstruction or intestinal obstruction in dogs, that's a serious issue. They have to be taken into the vet. And so I'm always trying to make sure when she,
you watch her while she's playing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole point, is that when she's chewing on stuff like that, I want to make sure that she's just tearing it up and not eating it, because then I don't want her to get obstruction and then have to go to the vet and then have to get it. So yeah, that's the nice thing about having tougher toys, that they can't really But plastic, on the other hand, or rubber like this, it's fun for her to do it.
Soft rubber.
Soft rubber, but I just don't want her to ingest it.
If you have big, powerful dogs, none of the toys are indestructible. I don't care what they promise or what they're like. They're. It's just the time it's going to take to destroy it.
And honestly, I think she's eating it. So we're gonna take this away from her. Watch out. Yet again, this is what I'm talking about. I'm taking it nice and slow, but and now she's in a sitting position because she wants it back. But really, I just don't want her to eat this. It's fine if you tear it up, but don't eat it. Okay, you ready? You wanna go get it? Go get it. And then she gave up because he was.
No, you see pieces over here.
There's pieces left.
There's pieces over here. She's not ingesting it, but it's definitely. But I think she's also. If you watch them, they really do their own sort of mind games. She's like, I'm not gonna chase it. I've already played with it. Yes, that's my baby.
Yeah. So Naomi, we've used some of those Kong products. I think we had a Kong.
We've had a bunch of them.
Yeah, and I think they last a little longer.
They do last longer, but the thing about it is because they really enjoy destroying the toy. We buy lots of toys, and thank you to all of you guys who send in money for their toys. We buy toys constantly because I 100% want them to destroy a toy and not destroy my stuff. So they 100% like. So you have to find a toy that is pliable enough to keep their interest.
Yes, I think Stafford is saying the same thing. The Kong toys, they're really nice. Is that what you're referring to? You have a great treat for you to try. What's that? See? Look. Okay. Okay. She's kind of chewing it. Let's see. Are you actually eating that, or are you chewing it and spitting it out?
Rain. Good boy. Rain, come here.
Hey, Charlie. What's going on? So, guys, let me remind you: if you guys have a dog and you want to come on the show, I've got the link. I've kept the link posted on the top. So just copy that link into your browser, and remember, you can only use kind of the front of your camera. If you have a dog and you want to show them off, we tried it last week. It was great. I'm using this program called StreamYard, and specifically, I would like to see your dog, or if you wanted to come on and talk about what you guys do during the holidays with your dog. Is she ingesting that or what? Get the squeaky.
No, she picked up and spit it. Is she swallowing? You can tell if she's swallowing it.
I think she is. She didn't spit that one out. Let's go.
Okay. Here, just put it up because if Rain gets it, he'll just end up giving it back to her.
Okay. We're going to take away this toy for now.
But it's not. It was only this long, so there's pieces over there.
Yeah, we just.
I need to get them uninterested in that. Where's the snake though?
It's over here. I'm just concerned that if she ingests too many of them, that she's getting obstruction. I think she ate a bit. Yeah, I think so too.
I need to get. So we don't buy these often, but the thing about it is you still have to watch them while they're playing with it to make sure. Granted, if they accidentally swallow a little bit, dog toys are made to be safe for them. Mm-hmm. But what you don't want to do is have a doggy constipation issue.
Yep, you don't want to have obstruction.
So, but the thing about it is, like, you have to watch them. They're tired now. I mean, she got to play for a while now. She's kind of, okay, I'm still interested, but it's not as big of a deal right now.
Okay, caution you, you're going to hop on to, that'd be great. Yeah, let me know when you're ready. I should get a notification once you put that in your browser, then we can hop on and see your pup. But yeah, my Rottweiler has the same toy as the worm. That's Sienna. That's a popular little toy. I think we get it from Tractor Supply, or where we get it?
I've seen it at the local grocery store.
Local grocery stores. And there's little Missi.
Missy just wants to see what we're doing. She went on her adventure.
What's that, little Missi?
She patrolled the perimeter.
I had to watch my Bert like a hawk when he had chew toys. Yeah. So yeah, for the same reasons, right? Naomi, is because we want to make sure that they don't have an obstruction from eating these things that don't break down. That's the whole issue, is that rubber doesn't necessarily digest, and if you have enough of it, here's another way you can tell if your dog is chewing inanimate toys.
Okay, y'all missed it. He knows I still have the toy, so he was nosing me in the back to get the toy.
Uh-oh. That's being pushy.
and I pushed his face away. I
Yep.
wasn't rough. I wasn't gentle. I mean, I wasn't gentle. I wasn't rough or whatever. I just pushed his face away. I'm telling him, no, you're not getting this.
Yep.
I can hold on to it, but you're not getting it.
Naomi says hi. Tell Naomi hi. Say hi, Naomi.
Rain said, I want to say hi to Naomi.
No, he's more interested in that toy that you have. So they got it in their mind.
When they forget, I'm like, I don't want to put the dog toy in my pocket necessarily because they can still smell it.
He hasn't forgot though.
Oh no, we should have named him Yogi. He thinks he's smarter than everybody.
Cut up fruit like oranges and strawberries and watermelon. Freeze them in water.
Yes,
that's from Stafford.
Popsicles that sounds good for the humans, let alone the dogs. Popsicles.
He's biting flies. Sorry, buddy. I wasn't spanking you. I just don't want the fly to bite you. So we have these flies out here. I don't know. Do you guys have biting flies in where you live? Because I remember growing up in East Texas, and I don't really remember like seeing flies that actually bite. Anyways, I don't want them to bite my dogs. But Chuck toy and pool. Oh
yeah, the throw. Is that the one you're talking about?
Chuck toy in pool. Oh, are you saying put the toy in the pool? No, it's actually kind of chilly right now, and I'm sure that water's too cold for them. I'd rather not them jump in.
But also one of our boundaries and rules is they can't come in until they're invited.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say next, is that for our dogs, it's a no-no for them to jump in there without them being invited. And usually what happens is in the summertime when we jump in the pool, we swim with the family first, human family, and then when we're almost done, then we invite the dogs to come in, and then they spend the last few minutes, whatever, getting their exercise in and swimming around. But the reason being is that for a couple of reasons. There's that fly again, that pesky fly. Is that number one is they roll around in the dirt, and
we don't want that in the pool.
And that gets in the pool and it changes the chemistries. And for some reason, this pool is one of those. I think it's like a horsefly, Naomi. I don't know what it is, but they're kind of weird. They actually do bite. They literally bite. But anyway, so their dander or whatever, or gets in the pool and changes the chemistries, and next thing you know, we'll have an algae bloom. And then the second reason is, I just don't want them swimming around. And I know they can get out because of the way this pool is made. The walls are slanted at a 45-degree angle all around the pool, so there's no place that really they can't get out. But for safety reason, I just rather they not be in there until I'm watching them.
And Stormy, our water dog, loves to swim. She's so powerful. And my thing about it is, if you're in the way in the pool between where she's at and where she's going, it won't be malicious or intentional, but she will definitely.
She can
swipe you with she's doing her doggy paddle that'll hurt.
Right. In other words, you got to protect them from themselves. I mean, they're like their worst enemies. That's the reason why we lost our other Rottweiler. Is the conditions were set to where they could hurt each other, and that's one thing that we stress and promote on this, or talk about. I'm not gonna say promote because every dog is different, but you notice that our dogs don't have collars on them. So we've lost a Rottweiler, beautiful male Rottweiler, due to a collar accident. So right now we were
none of our dogs have collars.
No collars, because there's no chance for them to get caught in each other's collars. No chance for the collars to get caught on things out here, because there's a ton of things they can get caught on. So do not do that. We don't do that. So again, I'm not going to judge you, but I do want you guys to know that it's a possibility, and be aware. Because I was going to say, and I'll just wrap this up. One of the things that I was hurt most about was not having that knowledge about the collars. Like, if I had known that there was a possibility, then I could have done something about it. So if I wish I had known that, then I'm sure other people wish they had known that same information. So one of the main reasons why we have this channel is just to kind of talk about those issues and spread those words. So if you've been on our show more than once, you probably heard that preached a lot.
Well, the thing about it is, because when you have smaller dogs, they don't have as much access to stuff, so they can't get caught with things. But a bigger dog, she did a move. Stormy's feeling herself. Stop the pivot. My dad used to coach. He would be so proud. So But no, we bigger dogs, because they're bigger, because their size, because they're the right height for so many things, it's so much easier for them to get caught on things. But smaller dogs don't typically have as much access because you keep, I mean, Missy's what, 12 inches, maybe 11 inches off the floor. And so most things aren't in her way, honestly.
So I'm gonna jump in. Rich Stafford was talking about Major caught his first big capture. So I think you mentioned it earlier. It's hard to kind of talk on topic and the comments at the same time. However, I think you said that you had an intruder at your house and your dog was able to be instrumental in stopping an intruder.
That.
Yeah. No, but in this case, you says the perpetrator for two kids. No, her was screaming. He caught him and didn't expect my dog to run through the door. See, that's the other thing I think big dogs are great for. I mean, I think the little dogs are good for for like we did a video. Our first, I think, yeah, I think we did one video that was kind of, I think that's the one that went viral. But Missy was out there leading the charge. She was saying, barking at the gate or whatever, and then the other two dogs, they knew for certain that there was something out there that they had to they had to go and ward off, and so they were all just in full attack mode at the fence line. So that video actually went viral. People like to see your dogs being at the most aggressive state, I guess.
It's
But
action.
but anyways, the point being is that imagine someone trying to come to the house, and they meet some dog like this or a Rottweiler. I mean, unless they have big dogs themselves and know what they're getting into, and even then, I just even having the knowledge that I have or we have of these, when you're not familiar with, that's good boy, good boy. Actually, sweetie, do you mind holding this? I'm gonna help him get some water. Be careful. Let's see here. These buttons, it's funny because it's like a browser. So
Well, I was just trying to go closer.
But I think can you guys still hear us? Because every time we we do some changes, sometimes it'll change the audio or the visual. So give me a thumbs up if everything's still working fine. I gotta go try to help Rain get some water. Come here, Rain. You have to be close to the Wi-Fi.
Oh. Okay. Well, Daddy's gonna help Rain get some water. Missy's on patrol. I don't know if you guys can see her. Okay, he's coming. Missy's on patrol. She believes it's her job to walk the whole thing. I don't know if you can see, but the little gadget where Rain can get water from the little faucet. Thank you, Naomi, for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, he works hard on the jokes. So they do a great job of, he was talking about the security with the dogs. And like I said, the thing that dogs that were bred for security, they have it seems like a natural apprehension toward new people and so it's like they're very much watching to see whether this is a threat. Okay. Thank you, Kaswani. Am I saying that right? Well, yeah, baby. We have someone logging into StreamYard to show off the dog. So, Dad's coming. Missy's taking a moment to freshen up. I called a photo op, but she's freshening up.
Okay. All right. So this is how. Let me show you how to do it. Are you there yet? Okay. I don't see you in the guests yet. Let me come back.
Stormy is feeling herself. She wants somebody to play.
Okay.
She had her solo moment. Now she's ready to play. And wait, no, that's Stormy started. You saw about ringleaders. Normally that's Stormy started. Missy's not saying anything.
I'm gonna have to grab the water gun. So as soon as you put that link into the your browser, and okay, yeah, hopefully you pronounce your name when you come on. But yeah, as soon as you put that link in the browser, I'll get a notification in the guest that you are in the queue, and then I'll just click you on.
Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy.
What's up?
Did you hear her trying to start mess?
Yeah, she was trying to go for
Today
it.
is her day, but Missy has been doing so much better, y'all. Missy has been trying to tone down a tad.
So, yeah.
Since Rain told her, like, hey, you're doing too much.
So, Stafford is saying that I'm going to truly emphasize that not everyone gets a Malinois or a Husky as a beginner dog.
It's normally good breeders will discourage you from it.
Yeah.
Good breeders would discourage new owners from getting any of the larger dogs.
And I was going to say I would definitely say the exact same thing about the Cane Corso at least.
Well, and the Rottweilers, that all the research says if you are a new dog owner, this is your first go round with owning a dog, then you need to start with something a little more.
Start with that. This little thing right here.
Well, but even this, you still have to train it, but it's just they're less resistant. They're less gonna. Um, they're less likely. The thing about it is these guys can not listen to if they're not in the right hands. They can be very dangerous to themselves, to other people. You definitely want somebody that can manage and train them and provide that clear leadership and guidance for them, because that's all it is. It's clarity.
It's definitely, you have to be clear with your dogs. You got to learn how to speak their language. If you're not used to being around dogs and understand their language, you start doing them what you think is
Well, you treat
right.
them like a human,
Yeah,
and they're not a human.
they're not humans. You know, we love them and they're like our children to us, and they act like little 3-year-olds like this right here. But they're really not 3-year-olds. They're animals, and animals have instincts. They have behaviors. They have hormonal, things. And when you're dealing with a big dog that has the power to do things, Jack Russells can be a good starter dog. That makes sense. I think
Jack Russells are super smart, but you have to be like, I don't care if you dog ownership, you have to be willing to train them no matter what size they are.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is a lot easier to train a Cane Corso when he weighs 15 pounds and 25 pounds than waiting until he gets over 100 pounds and trying to train him. Same thing with the Roddy. They grow, and the thing about it is they grow quickly, y'all. When you get them as puppies, when we got Storm, she was the same size as Missy.
Yeah, I think.
She's in.
Uh, yeah, she's doing good. But all right, are you ready to hop on? All right, let me add you on to the stage.
And what is your name, brother?
Hey, what's going on? How you pronounce your name, bro?
Hey, it's Kasan.
Kassan, thank you for that. I
Yeah,
was
and
like, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
that's all right. I'm from
How
New
you doing?
York, so that's why I have the NY at the end of my name.
I thought it meant New York, but I was like, let me just. But no, welcome to the team. Can you show off your
Thank you
babies?
for having me. Yes, yes. Let me just figure out how to turn this camera the other way. If
Yeah,
not, I'll just hold it the other way.
yeah. That's one of the limitations of StreamYard is they won't let you use the back camera as a guest. So,
Gotcha. I'll just turn it around. Sit.
Oh
oh,
my gosh, look at that beautiful baby.
who is that?
So this is my boy Draco. He's
Hi,
three. Yeah,
Draco.
Draco.
he's 3 years old. He's trying to get some pets now, but
Oh my gosh.
he's 3 years old. I've always loved Rottweilers. In fact, they were the first dog I ever met. Growing up in the Bronx, a lot of people had Rottweilers and German Shepherds and pit bulls and Dobermans to like guard car lots and junkyards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One day I was coming home from school with my grandmother. I'm only 4 years old, and this Rottweiler runs up to the gate barking at us, and I was so excited to see a dog for the first time. I ran to the fence, and my grandmother pinched the back of my arm and was like, "Boy, if you don't get away from that dog, do you know what that is?" And I just love the look of the breed ever since. So I studied them for about 10 years and watched Cesar Millan and other YouTubers and read books before I ever purchased the dog.
There
I
it is.
bought him for my 28th or 29th birthday after a bad relationship. I just needed a different outlet. And I taught myself how to train him. So I'll show you guys some cool stuff when you're ready.
Yeah, we'll
Go
go for
for
it.
it. Congratulations. He's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. And how old are your dogs?
So,
2 and 4.
yep. So Storm is 4, the Rottweiler is 4, and then the Cane Corso is 2 years old.
Awesome. That
And Miss
puppy phase was difficult for me. He was a big chewer.
Uh-huh.
And it took a while for us to be able to do free range.
Yeah.
As you can tell, he knows I have the tree up.
Yep. And I think some of those behaviors, I think you just kind of have to kind of deal with, because I think our dogs, if you go in our house, like at our window ledge, you'll see where there's like teeth marks. There's like areas on the molding on the side of the wall where they kind of chewed at it.
Certain dogs that just chew more than others.
It's like, so there's going to be a certain amount of that I don't know if you can truly get rid of it. You can work on it, and if you can give them the feedback that you don't want them to do it,
Or spray something they don't like on it.
yeah, I think it's possible. But I think there's like a certain amount of it that you just kind of have to kind of live with. Whoa, okay.
One thing,
Oh, nice.
Switch. Good boy.
Oh, wow.
That's just a good command for walking when people, are coming out on the same side on the sidewalk. They feel more comfortable when they see me able to switch.
Control them. Absolutely.
Nice.
He's a good. Oh, look at that. He will work for.
Okay, break. So yeah, we've done a lot of different things. I live in an apartment, and I know that's not the most ideal. If I could go back, I would have waited until I had a house. But I'm a very active person. I hike almost every day, so he gets plenty of outside time and exercise.
Oh, wow.
And we've gotten to different activities. We've done some agility. We've done some protection work. We've done some tracking. Because I just try to keep him active and satisfied so he's not disruptive and destructive,
Yeah.
It sounds like y'all are such a good team.
Yeah, we really are. We've come a very long way.
I love it. So Kashawn, how many hours would you say a week that you spend with like training with your dog? I mean, like how much time are you devoting to that?
I think people really underestimate how much time it takes. I actually underestimated it myself, even with the amount of drive and commitment that I had. The number one thing that I wasn't prepared for, when people saw and heard that I was getting a Rottweiler, everyone was like, oh, the size, the aggression, the temperament. None of that was a problem. What was the problem was the amount of attention and affection this dog needed.
Yes.
Yep.
That was tough. But to answer your question, I spent hours in the beginning. The first year or so, we would be at it for at least, 2 to 4 hours a day, just because I had to build his rapport. And he was so high energy as a pup. Yeah. Even to this day, this guy likes to play nonstop. He will keep going and going and going until he's tired. And that's really the most difficult part about him specifically, which I'm thankful for because of his breed. I'd rather have a very, very playful, goofy dog than an aggressive dog who wants to eat everybody. Yeah. But you only need about 1 to 3 15-minute sessions a day to really train your dog. But I just went overkill because at that time I was so excited and I was going through a heartbreak, so I had a lot of time to put into dog training.
No,
that makes sense.
He's very lucky to have you as an owner to do the research and the commitment, because that's one thing that we noticed that when we got Missi, we had her just by herself, had plenty of time to train her. Our schedule's a little different. Same thing, we got our Rottweilers right before everything shut down, so I had plenty of time with her. Rain was a little bit more challenging just because we weren't at home as much when we first got him.
Awesome.
And I think
I was able to get him in the summertime. I'm a teacher, so I had time off to work with him for a couple months before I had to go back to work.
It's like, shout out.
I heard that.
So and that came in handy.
I have a question for you guys. This happened to me recently, and I always knew it was possible, but dealing with it in real time was definitely a different feeling than thinking about it. Have you ever had anybody's dog off leash run up on you guys?
Yep.
Oh, do you want me to tell you about that story? Oh my gosh, I may flip the camera around because it's gonna be hard to kind of for me. I may do it on this end here. Let me see if I can do that. Just to kind of give you Oh my god, I'm so slow with this program. I think I did it here. So, oh, okay, there we go. Sorry for my face. I got a little mark on my face, but yeah, that happened to me a couple months ago, where I'm walking my dogs and we're in the neighborhood. And matter of fact, you know what? I think I'll go back to the back camera. And a guy had this little bitty yap 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 dog, and we're minding our business, and my dogs, they're on leash. They have, and I use prong collars when I take my big dogs because they're not perfect with walking beside me without
Same.
pulling. So I need, yeah, and so especially if I'm filming when I'm walking, I need control because I have to hold them with one arm, and they're big dogs. They're a lot to try to control with one arm. I'm,
Yeah, for sure.
um, but anyway, so the dog, so mama's setting boundaries real quick. But the dog ran out to the front to the yard, or I'm sorry, to the street with us, and started yapping, yapping, yapping. Of course, my dogs completely react to it. They're like growling, and then the owner is like, in the yard, just kind of softly yell, come here, Mookie," whatever the dog's name was. Come here, come here, come here, come here. And so, yeah, he's got a little mark on him. I saw that earlier, but and I'm trying to tell this guy, hey, come get your dog, dude, because I got these massive dogs that are reactive and they're ready to go to town on your little dog here. And so this guy, I think, and I think he was a little bit afraid to kind of stick his hand in there to grab his dog. But, and I'm like, you don't, we shouldn't be in this position in the first place. You should have had your dog on leash in your yard. So just because you're afraid to go in there and grab your dog, and I'm trying my best to pull my dogs away from your dog. And anyways, it was a terrible interaction. I got my dogs down the street. He finally got his dogs, and unfortunately, it kind of turned sour because I put on the mic because we have a community page, and I tried to do like a public service announcement. I said, hey, listen, guys, if you have a dog and if your dog is not really listening to you when you recall,
whatever type of dog it is, it don't
whatever dog, put them on, keep them on leash, or put them in the backyard behind a fence. Because we were walking and minding our business, and then this guy's dog almost died today, and I would feel bad because if my Rottweiler or Connie Corso bit that little dog's head off, look, I'm sorry, but it's your fault, not me, because my dogs were in control. And so now I didn't call out his name, I didn't put his address or anything on the Facebook page, but he and his wife, I guess they had saw the post, and he thought, this is the worst part. This is the worst part. He got offended. He got mad that I tried to do a public service announcement, and I basically said exactly what I just told you.
Right.
And so I was walking. I think I was walking rain a few days later, and so he called. I saw him walking his dog. Now this time, I guess the dog was on leash, but he started yelling down the street at me, talking about, "I want to come talk to you." Like, this guy is super animated, and then in my mind, I'm thinking,
good space with the Connie Corso to come out to you.
I'm like, dude, you know nothing about dogs. First of all, you're being confrontational to the owner. Okay, so what do you think this big dog is gonna do
Right.
whenever somebody's trying to, cut? Sorry, my wife is fixing my hat. Um, you know, so I'm and thinking in my mind, I've got to get away from the situation. So it looked like I was running away from him. So I turned around and started taking my dog back home. But the reason why is because I'm fine with talking to you and hashing this out. But I'm not. I'm in a situation where I have a big, powerful dog you're yelling at me. He's gonna react to you yelling at me, and, and then not only is your dog gonna get some, but you about to get some. Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
with you.
And so I was like, dude. And so I kind of what I did was I took Rain. Yeah, I took him into someone else's yard and backed as far as away from the street as I could to kind of calm him down to make sure he wasn't picking up on all the energy.
Right.
And of course, this guy thinks that he's going to hash this out with me in the middle of the street right then and right there. And I was like, dude, I have to go. I have to. If you don't understand how dangerous the situation is. I'm trying to protect you. We can talk. We can have this discussion
Right.
offline, but not. Yeah, we're neighbors and all, but dude, you can't do that while I'm in control of a big dog like this. And so, anyways, I reached back out to him. End of the story. I reached back out to him on well, actually his wife, because he didn't even have a Facebook account. And I said, hey, look, if you guys want to work on training, because clearly you guys need to work on your dog. I need to work on my dog being less reactive. Let's work together. Crickets. Crickets. Didn't want to do any of it. Didn't respond. Didn't say, hey,
Same.
yeah, let's do it. Just like nothing.
Right.
Same. And
But
it really
but
grinds my
we run
gears.
into
Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. We run into that with people of dogs of all sizes. We have neighbors that have big dogs that don't control them well. So the answer is we are not being nice when we say we empathize. We definitely understand the headache that causes, because the reputation of the big dogs is just going to come back to you, even though it's not their fault.
Exactly. And you just finished all of my replies spot on. So we got all bases covered on that. So people watching, if you have dogs, please control your dogs at all times for the safety of your dog, the other dog, and all the owners involved. Personally, I'm going to make sure me and my dog are always safe, but I try to reserve going to any further if
Wow.
necessary.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Another question I have for you guys, I love large dogs for the most part just because I like the protection aspect of it. We live in a crazy, wild, dangerous world, and I see the asset that the presence of a dog brings to a household and even to your person when you're walking out and about in the street. Since owning your dogs, have you ever had situations where your dogs have had to protect you or possibly alerted you to danger?
Mm.
Um,
You want to take this one, or
you can.
do you want
I'm
to
trying
start?
to think. You can start.
Well, I mean, I will say this. I think in most cases, we
We
chose where,
strategically.
yeah, we strategically decided to live outside of the cities. We live in a country town in the suburbs, and so there's not much going on out here. And like I said, that's by design, right? We chose. We were a
And what
little bit
state
closer
are
to
you
the
in, sir?
cities. What's that?
What state are you in?
Oh, we're in Texas.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so in the gun-toting state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
but
Absolutely. I'm from
Wow, you've been trained in
New
that
York.
too.
but anyway, so for the most part, we try our best to set ourselves up for success. And being out here in the country with not much activity going on, I think that's limited a lot of those negative interactions with other people. The other thing is, we build a fence around our property, so it's a lot harder for people to get to where we are. We're in the back of the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? So most, if anything goes on in this neighborhood, usually people want to come in and get out pretty quickly, so they don't want to go to, and there is no back way to exit the community. So all those kind of things have kind of kept us in a position where we never really had to kind of worry about anyone, you
But it's
know,
intentional.
yeah, it's definitely intentional.
So
But
we
when
have a security systems. We have a lot of things in place to do that. But because I mean, ultimately there are pets, but I mean, two big dogs and that little one yapping at you are a pretty good deterrent for most things.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the biggest protection mechanisms for us is not so much that my dog will come and bite your leg off. It's more along the lines that they look menacing and they sound terrible, sound menacing. So I
Horrible.
think I think yeah, I've got a video out where I have the people that are dropping off packages on the front door, and they ring the doorbell or they knock on the door, and then all you hear from the ring doorbell is and and a lot of times, sometimes these people just take off running. They're just like, no, I'm not about that. So that's probably the
They'll leave our
most.
packages at the end of the driveway.
That's probably the most that I would really expect out of my dogs, because we don't train them for being protection dogs. They're not really trained to handle.
But I will say that they do react if they think you're in danger. They definitely react. So I mean, that protective instinct is there. And like I said, we've said that we feel like, honestly, the running joke is that we feel like Missy would alert them and the other two would handle it. So my thing is, I definitely feel like their reaction to anything they perceive as a danger or a concern, they're very, very alert. Um, I really do feel like they do a great job of that. They patrol. They're always very, very aware of what's going on. So that we definitely we're thankful for that protective aspect. But we haven't had to enlist that. And the thing about it is, honestly, we're kind of on a mission to show that, they can, yes, they have that protective instinct. We want that muscle, we want that strength and that power, but they are also really great pets. They are really great to have as pets, because people only see Rottweilers in horror movies and things like that where they're chasing a bad guy. But it's like, it's just like, or the Connie Corso, they're like, what is that? And with his cropped ears, he looks, and when he's not smiling, like, they're very intimidating. Like, but they're really great pets. But I think one thing that you guys have emphasized and the other members that are part of this channel have really emphasized is that it takes great owners.
For sure.
Yep, you gotta always think about your dog, and I think you're correct by saying it takes a large amount of time and commitment. The more time you put into your dog, the better situation you'll have. And a lot of situations where people are working long hours and have jobs that they can't spend a lot of time with their dogs. I recommend not getting a big dog if your life is like that.
Or a
You know,
dog,
you
period.
Yeah, exactly, because you really need to spend time with your dog, and I think you're a perfect example of what happens when you do spend that time with your dog. So kudos to you, man. But
Yeah, that rapport is critical. It's the same with like children. You have to have a strong bond in order to have the influence you need to positively mold the behavior that you want to see.
correct,
Absolutely. And
correct.
I
That
think
sounds like an educator right there.
no, I'm like educator. I get it, but I think that the thing about the other sad reality is if you get a big protective dog, but you don't spend that time with them, they're not going to be very good at protecting you. They don't have clear expectations. They don't know what you want to do. I mean, they're a good deterrent, but it's going to be very difficult for them to protect you, and they actually may be who hurts you because they don't know what to do.
Exactly. I don't want to hold you guys too long, but I do have one final question before I get out of here. I love watching you guys, so I wanted to definitely join and converse with you all, but I just want
Yeah.
to ask one final thing. I have strongly been considering a second dog just because I love the breed. I think it'll be better for him. I noticed from hanging out with dog friends that his mood seems a little bit better when he's around another dog. Any tips for incorporating a second dog?
Yes. We've been through that a couple times. I think that you definitely want to I'm not sure. I hear you saying the research, but definitely if you have the option to observe the dog, make sure that dog's personality, you want them to have energies that are compatible. If you have a very loaf of a dog and then you add a real high energy dog, they may not get along. But you want to make sure they're compatible. The other thing is that how you introduce them is the most important part for us. So the way that we introduce the Rottweilers to Missy is we use the walk method. We've seen it on a couple different training things, but we meet um, once one family member, like my husband, will go pick up the dog and then I'll bring the other dogs to them. We'll meet somewhere away from the house and walk together, which helps the pack bond. But even in that, just watch all their initial interactions. You want to set them up for success. You want to make sure that even in that, just like with multiple children, that you're giving them that individual attention, that you're setting those clear expectations. And if, like, one thing that we do is Missy's kennel is far away from the other two kennels because she needs her quote me time. And my thing about it is when she gets tired of them, she needs that space to be able to go do that. So we're very, very intentional. We're also, everybody gets fed in their own space so that we're not creating situations where they're competing.
And I will say one other thing too is bringing one home as a puppy
Helps.
helps out a lot because that puppy is just kind of learning from everybody and
And
learning
it's more respective to the bigger, older dog.
right.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
my plan.
and then they kind of grow up with that expectation of who's actually alpha and who's not, because once you've established like your dog is already trained and that's the behavior that you want the new dog to model, well then your current dog is going to be the alpha dog, and so you support him being alpha, meaning okay, he gets fed first, or just give that dog signal that hey, this is the behavior I want you to not, I don't want you to come in and take over the good that I've done with this other dog, is I want you to learn from the alpha and support that dog.
And the 3 years old is what the experts recommend. I guess it's kind of like human children. Like 3 years old is a good gap because your dog that you have understands you in and out and is gonna honestly help you train the new one.
Right. And I think you already know that research is key. You hear it from us and our experience, but we're not trainers. We're not necessarily professional dog people necessarily. We're just like family that's got big dogs, and we're just sharing our experience. So, but I mean, your head's obviously in the right direction where to do the research. Keep doing the research, keep learning about the breed that you want to get, and I think you got it. I think
And
you
like I
got it.
said, and my thing is, I'm like,
And clearly, you know what you're doing. I mean, your dog is really well trained. I really enjoyed watching that.
Appreciate it.
So I think that, like, thank you for all the questions. Thank you for the interaction and for sharing your baby. Like, we'd love to see some more shots of him and anybody else that wants to pop on and just say hey with their fur babies. I think I don't know. I'm like, I feel like if I had the time, I'd have a Cesar Millan ranch full of dogs. I just love dogs.
That's for retirement. That's for retirement. When we retire.
I appreciate you guys having me. It's been a blessing. I appreciate watching you guys keep putting out content, doing what you're doing, educating the people. Love the love you guys have for your dogs. You guys stay well and prosperous.
All right,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year. Take care.
All right, bye.
Hey, Missy. Come here, Missy. Come here, baby. Come here, baby.
Well, that was an awesome interaction, guys. So we have the link up still. If anyone wants to jump on, I think it's probably getting close to breakfast time anyway. But if you guys want to come in, I know there's been a lot of comments. We'll have to catch up on the comments on the replay. But if anyone wants to come in real quick, the link is still available. Please show off your dog. Show off anything you want to talk about. If you want to talk about what you guys did to make sure your dogs are safe over the holidays or how you did babysitting, let us know.
And also how you introduce your new dogs to your veterans. Stormy is on one today.
Yeah, they need to go for her.
She's on one.
Yeah, they need to go for her.
Okay.
But if not, let me get some water.
She's on one.
I feel like she did this just so I can get the water down.
I feel like I don't know, did Dad train Missy or did Dad train Stormy? Did Stormy train Dad? She's on one today. I'm going to go. Okay, guys, it's such a great time. Roddy, Belgians, Pit Bulls. Yeah. That was so sweet. Thank you, Naomi, for your support. How do I join? We have someone else that wants to jump in.
Let's see.
Okay.
So Fun Times, there's a link at the top of the page. So you'd have to take that link and post it into your browser, and then I'll get a notification that you want to come in. And what kind of dog do you have, by the way? Ah. Yeah, Stafford, thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's been a wonderful time.
Tips. I thank you, Stafford, for all your tips.
Yeah. So
pro tips.
Yeah, thank you, Kashan, for the time and everything. Appreciate that. The questions. Oh, Chloe's grandpa. What's going on, Chloe's grandpa? Look at Rain. He's like, I'm not participating in this activity. It's a pit bull. Okay.
Oh. Pitties are
or you think it's a pit bull. Okay.
Oh, I call them magic.
He's in love. What do you say, babe?
I call them magic mutts.
Magic mutts.
You're not sure?
Yeah.
They're beautiful, though. They have the strength of so many different breeds.
You got a quick funny? What's going on, Stafford? Okay, I still don't see the request just yet. So let me know. But if we can't figure it out today, then we'll definitely be back. When are we coming back again? Back, sweet? Next Saturday or next Sunday?
Are you off before the New Year?
Maybe we'll come in right before, if I'm off during the New Year's Eve or maybe the New Year day itself. We'll see. We'll try
to come back on before 2025.
Okay. Yeah, they're ready for breakfast. Okay, no worries, Fun Times. We're getting ready to have breakfast, and but thank you for trying. This platform is still working out pretty well. I think I do like the fact that people come on. I think there's a lot of value because not one person has all the answers, right? I mean, so it literally takes like kids. They always say it takes a village to raise a kid. I think it takes a village to raise a dog family. You know what I'm saying? So thank you guys for coming. Let me play something nice, something that I wrote here. Here's some original music for you guys. That's kind of boring. All right, anyways. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all next time. Stormy, come say bye. Come here, Rain. Come say bye. Oh, he's on the hunt for something. Rain. Oh, let's end the show with some disobedience. How about that? Come here, Stormy. You gonna be obedient? Come here. Come here, sweetie. He's like, I'm gonna slowly mosey over here. I think we're gonna run before we actually have breakfast because the last thing we need to have is a full stomach on a run. All right, guys. Y'all have a nice day.